Anyway, they built all those pyramids. Day 1000, chapter 102. Since day one of the New World, there had been daily announcements of the Day 1000 celebration. Every seventh day there was a day of worship. There were worship services in every state. Each state church could hold a billion or so people who would attend. One of God's 24 elders would speak at each of the 24 different churches. They would rotate so as not to bore their audiences. The 24 elders were comprised of the 11 disciples, Mary Magdalene, and 12 other eminent persons such as Billy Graham, Gandhi, Mohammed, Paul of Tarsus, Pope John the 23rd, Moses, etc. Christ himself would speak at one of the churches each month. Every 25th week there would be a communion where everyone would be allowed to eat bread and drink wine. The warm feelings these two items gave the individual were so unbelievable and so satisfying that all left the service energized. Jennifer described it as a perpetual high. McCoy described it as a long orgasmic experience. It was an opportunity to communicate directly with their God in a way no human had ever conceived of. Needless to say, all looked forward to week 50, when there would be another communion experience. The 24-state area where all humans now resided, each in their own mansion, each with their own pets. Tigers were the most popular, with velociraptors a close second. Comprised 1/16th of the massive planet surface. All new construction on the new planet was ongoing. The Garden of Eden had been removed from the planet by God at the time of the flood and now occupied another 1/16th of the new earth. It was not yet open to the public, however Adam and Eve were there getting it ready for the grand opening, which would be after the Day 1000 celebration. It would once again be their permanent home. Another 1/16th of the earth was angel quarters. Each of them also had a spectacular mansion, but most were not home much. They were waiting on humans, constructing the remainder of the new earth, or out in the far-flung parts of the universe with other duties. God's nature was to create, and he was constantly in motion, creating galaxy after galaxy, star after star, being after being. The angels often referred to the rapidly expanding universe as the impossible dream. They knew it would be impossible to ever see it all. However, after the celebration ended, one of their jobs would be to guide the humans around the infinite universe. Another 1/16th of the planet was being prepared as the Museum of Humanity. It would encompass art, music, history, and whatever else one could see at a museum. Humans would be encouraged to not only visit but contribute to the museums with art or whatever they chose. The opening was not scheduled until sometime after the celebration. William Shakespeare's new play, Bloody Snow, was to be performed at the grand opening. Each state had a massive sports complex, and during the first 1,000 days, rivalries had already developed between the various state teams. Baseball was the most popular, with soccer and football a close second. The stadiums were far larger than on the old Earth, but many resembled those stadiums of the old world, such as Wrigley Field. Of course, there were no injuries. Humans were all about 20 feet tall and differed little in physical makeup except for the facial features. With similar abilities, a human would have to spend serious practice time if he or she wanted to play baseball, for instance. The more the practice, the better one got. Babe Ruth, who still loved baseball more than anything, spent more time at practice and was thus still the best player on the planet. But Jennifer's father, a semi-pro player in his younger days, could, if he chose, practice diligently and challenge even the babe. But Jennifer knew that would not happen. Her father's first love was archaeology, as was hers. Both could not wait to explore new worlds, many replete with new and unique life forms. What all would discover was that there was myriads of other planets in the universe with human settlements as well.